Now to the murder trial of Massachusetts mother Lindsay Clancy. Today, jurors are hearing more testimony from rebuttal witnesses called by the prosecution. Clancy is accused of strangling her 3 young children inside their home in 2023. Her defense argues she was suffering from severe postpartum psychosis at the time. Clancy has pleaded not guilty. NBC's Stephen Romo has been following this case from the beginning for us. We're also joined by NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris, who's been with us a lot, too. Stephen, a forensic psychologist took the stand today and talked about Lindsay Clancy's mental health. What did he tell the court?
Yeah, Dr. Kirk Halloran has been a really strong expert witness for the prosecution. He evaluated Lindsay, and very interestingly, he says he looked at the potential motive. He said it was important for him to do that, and he says he saw essentially 2 different possibilities here. One is acute psychosis with command hallucinations, which is what the prosecution says, or he says Lindsay intended to take her own life and wanted to take her children with her as a way to protect them from a world without her. Now, he says he thinks psychosis is unlikely. He looked at evidence for each of these ideas, but he says that voice that Lindsay reported hearing, he says it is inconsistent and very, very unusual the way she described it. Hearing it constantly for 18 to 20 minutes, never hearing it before and never hearing it after that. He says that that doesn't fit in with what typically happens in a situation of psychosis, and he says that lines up more with someone who would be fabricating that. So this does give the jury something they have not had yet, which is an expert to lay out an alternate theme other than postpartum psychosis.
Misty, we've now heard from multiple psychological experts and doctors, and 2 of them today, both hired by prosecutors to evaluate Lindsay Clancy, right? And each one of them had a different diagnosis that they presented to the jury. So if you're the prosecution, why do you keep calling experts who contradict each other?
So the diagnosis is one thing, but their ultimate conclusion was the same, and that conclusion was that she doesn't reach the standard of being legally responsible. So that's separate and apart from any mental health issue or diagnosis or disagreement on that front. But Kate, I will say, Dr. Mack, he's the psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist that testified earlier today. Really not great on cross-examination, lost a lot of credibility. The doctor that's on the stand currently is really telling a very compelling story, and I think there's a lot of understanding that I'm at least getting, and I'm sure the jury is getting as well, with regard to postpartum psychosis, how it impacts that legal standard. So this is a very effective witness.
What is that witness saying that's caught you, that's made you think, oh, this is effective?
Yeah, so he's really going directly at what Dr. Resnick, so this is the defense expert, said that there's 2 reasons why Lindsay Clancy may have killed her kids. One is that she was wanting to kill herself and she wanted to take her kids with her. That's one. The other is this command hallucination, this voice that directed her to do this, and she couldn't resist it. Well, to Stephen's point, he's talking about how it's so unusual that that voice would be an external voice that would sound for 18 minutes only during the time she's committing the crime. And it's giving a bit more context to what that type of command hallucination would normally be like. And so I think we're actually getting a view into more information about what psychosis looks like and why this might not be a case of it, something the prosecution really needed to get to the jury.
Stephen Romo, Misty Marris, we'll continue to watch it. Thank you.